Finals Licorice Coke spawning in the right versus Drunken Puking spawning in the left. So we have Beast openings by both going for the standard Zergling Savage. Oh my god, I need to tell them to both use Night Command. And okay, thank you for using the Night Command so I don't lag out of this game. And we can see with this opening, both of them have some options. They can go for early aggression via Zealot plus Ling on 3, possibly, depending on leaks, Muta on 3, or you can go for the Muta on 4 or Mass Lings on 4, double Zealot on 4. There's a lot of things you can do gas bomb wise. You send between 80 and 100 gas on wave 3. What's it called? 100 or 120 on wave 4. Okay, looks like Drunken Puking can't do night. Whatever. Yes, his laptop is not the greatest, but so both also going for the Aqua Spirit, so this will lead to a very easy hold on wave 3, but will leave them weak to wave 4. Gas Bomb, both still not saving gas. No, let's see. Licorice must have sent, yeah, he sent 20 gas worth of something. Looks like he missed the gas cap, I guess, which is unfortunate for him, as he'll be down 20 gas when bombing on wave 4. So we'll see. Let's take a look at what they're sending. Licorice Coke sending 3 Lings. Drunken Puking, however, opting to hold on to his gas, so supplied gas supply trick twice, and he's gonna send a Muta or Mass Lings or a couple Zealots on wave 5. Or he can just be opting to go for the Muta on wave 4, and we'll see if anyone leaks. Lick going up to 205 army value, Drunken Puking going up to 220. Both have the infantry, but Drunken Puking has the Bone Warrior, just in case. And Lick holds no problem. Aqua Spirit supports are very good on wave 4. Lick is now free to get his 4th worker. Interesting. He's not expecting a send from Drunken Puking this wave, and he would be correct. But I'm not entirely sure if this holds the single Zergling Savage with the Aqua Spirit and Infantry. We'll have to see. Okay, never mind. With Shadow Racial, it'll definitely hold. And Drunken Puking playing pretty safe, not even taking a 3rd worker yet, so he's going to be behind in terms of economy later on. It'll be much harder to get up to the 4 to 5 workers without while being safe for a gas bomb. So Drunken Puking of course holds, as does Lick, and let's look at their gas counts. Lick is sitting on 100 gas, Drunken Puking on 58. Lick is staying at 124 minerals. Perhaps he wants to get the Pyro next round. Nope. He's gonna go for the Magnetic Resonator. Gives this Zergling Savage a little buff in terms of shields, so that he will be able to survive the roaches as a tank. It'll work for this round, not so much for 7. We'll see nothing. As expected, Drunken Puking, was he done with his gas? Nothing, still holding on to 76 gas. 2 workers, just getting a serve now. Sees the medic from Licorice Coke, and he is very glad that he built his pyro. Unfortunately for him, he is pretty far behind in gas count. Well, not very far behind, but Lick has been on these four workers for the past 2 rounds, so he's definitely ahead in that aspect. He's playing a very what should I call it? Very early game oriented defense using tier 1, 2. The only tier 3 is this magnetic resonator in order to hold off the waves without upgrading. Doing kind of a thin defense with a lot of buffer units in order to get by the waves. And Drunken Puking, what has he done with his gas? He has invested it into his first orb of subcannons, which I like in his position because otherwise he'd be tunneled into trying to bomb Licorice Coke. Based on his economic situation, he would not be able to send an effective gas bomb without even getting his first speed up. So at most he'd be able to send like maybe an Immortal on this wave, or maybe an Immortal Zealot on wave 9. And so he's just orbing up, keeping Licorice in the dark, keeping him guessing if he's going to bomb anytime soon. And Licorice Coke now needs to make a decision of how safe to play, whether he should risk this wave or not. We'll have to see what decision he makes. He's finally getting his first speed upgrade, going up to 509 army value with his Pulverizer and Circling Savage. Good slow AoE damage. Fortunately, he's going to have a tough time on wave 10, so hopefully Drunk doesn't set bomb on wave 10, is what Licorice Coke is thinking. In the meantime, Drunken Puking, going for the Zergling Savage, Pyro, Obliterator, which will do moderately well on wave 10. He'll need this to be obliterated as well and to hold it sufficiently. He's an Immortal from Licorice Coke, and he'll hold this no problem. 525 value pretty easily. And let's see. Drunken Puking going up to 5 workers. And let's see, his gas income is 104, same as Lick's. Lick's also doing it, and he'll make a bunch of adepts as buffer units, which is good for him. Definitely needs something to hold off wave 10. Sees nothing from Drunk. So at this point, Licorice Coke has been taking a couple risks. Well, they're educated risks. He's saying, okay, Drunken Puking, you're not saving for a bomb. You've been orbiting it this time. I'm free to go up to 6 workers. I will thin hold this wave 10. I am calling your bluff, and it's worked out for him. He's now getting his second speed upgrade, and he's in a pretty decent economic position with this Pulverizer. Drunken Puking, however, is not far behind at all. He's got this Pyro and an Obliterator with the chance of getting a Pulverizer as well. However, he doesn't have much in terms of tanking wise, so he'll need something else to hold up a wave 14 bomb if he's expecting it at all. Let's look at their orb count. Licorice Coke standing at 1 subcannons. Drunken Puking standing at 2 in the subcannons. So Drunken Puking will be able to hold off a bomb wave 14 slightly better than Licorice Coke if it does happen at all. Also, hopefully, he's kept Licorice Coke in the dark, and his economy would be ahead of Licorice Coke if Licorice Coke was expecting a bomb, but as we can see, Licorice Coke has been doing quite decent in econ. And no one sees anything on 12. So at this point, they should both be expecting a wave 14 gas bomb, because they basically must assume that the other person has built some type of auto on the wave that they built it. Licorice Coke knows that Drunk can most likely have a Pulverizer, as is Drunk. Drunk even builds one right now. So they're both not going to opt not to bomb on wave 13. Licorice Coke building another orb for subcannon. So looking at his gas count, he does not want to bomb on wave 14. Instead, he wants to bide his time, bomb on wave 15. Probably in his mind, he hopes that Drunk bombs him on 14. He maybe leaks a couple creeps, and he'll do a massive bomb on wave 15 with the extra gas that he's gotten from leaking. Licorice Coke will hold this no problem, as will Drunken Puking. Gas counts, Licorice Coke is up ahead with 7 workers, 2nd speed. Drunken Puking is behind by 2nd speed. We'll have to see if both think anything's coming with 18. Drunken Puking saying, hey, I'm going to go for a thin defense. I am going for 885, nope, 990 value, okay. That's still a little thin. 885, 1010. Going for 3 auras, and Licorice Coke sending like a tank. What? This is a misclick. Tank Goliath. Whereas Drunken Puking sending all 4 auras. And wow, Licorice Coke with the Clutch Pyro, he only he still leaks, but he only leaks 2 creeps. Plus 2 auras. Drunken Puking will hold no problem, but looking from Drunken Puking's point of view, he sees a low amount of leaks. Okay, he's going to get his 2nd speed up now. Clicks on the command center, sees 2 orbs and subcannons, which you can tell because there's 100 in shields and only 10 up in attack. That's indicative of 2 orbs in RBG. Licorice Coke now free to bomb? No, okay. He doesn't have as much gas income as I was expecting. Yeah, he didn't have enough to bomb. He spent 320 gas on the last wave, and unfortunately for him, that's not enough it doesn't leave him enough gas to bomb on wave 15 as well. Drunken Puking would have had to possibly leak in order for that to work, and Licorice Coke would have had to not leak. So, but both gas capping, so let's see. Drunken Puking now slightly ahead, 2 workers ahead in terms of economy, and Licorice Coke just now droning up to 10 workers. Let's look at their sends. Drunken Puking sending a Broodlord, most likely will follow up with a lot of Lings. Licorice Coke with the Queen, Goliath for Lings. And Drunken Puking going up to 1100 army value. Same with Licorice Coke. They're both expecting something this wave. They both see something this wave. We'll have to see who has their Unicomp defend this. Most likely it'll be Drunken Puking, since Licorice Coke is probably not going to survive this Broodlord. And yep, Licorice Coke is going to leak 10 creeps. Nope, it's going to leak 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 creeps plus the Broodlord, while Drunken Puking only leaks 2. Once Drunken Puking sees this, I'm just going to call him Drunk from now on. Once Drunk sees this, he'll be free to drone up, and Licorice Coke might have to worry about upping his SS, but most likely he's fine, as long as he target fires correctly. Broodlord first, yep, in these creeps. So Licorice Coke is definitely behind now. He has to worry about a follow-up gas bomb from Drunk. Might have to play a little bit safer. Drunken Puking is also up in gas, double his minerals, and Lick is going to have to pull off some sneakery in order to get back into this game. He says he's done for, but yeah, he's at a pretty big disadvantage. We'll have to see if he has some way of coming back into this game. Looking at Drunken Puking, he's going to make the Warden, which will be good for wave 20 and destroying all the Lings. Also will push creeps away from his Pulverizer Obliterator. So Drunken Puking now just playing safe, saving up his gas, gonna bomb a wave 19 by the looks of it. Licorice Coke, on the other hand, he is going to hold this as well, with a rather thin defense for wave 17, but he's got to take some risks, think that Drunken Puking doesn't bomb him twice in a row. Sorry, this is wave 18. Drunken Puking going for the Megaling, Mortal, Medic, Goliath, plus probably Mothership Core. And Licorice Coke definitely has to hold this in order to stand a chance in this game, but most likely he won't. We'll have to see with 1454 value, can he hold this gas bomb effectively? Let's find out. Sees the gas bomb and says very nice. Sorry for the lag, guys. I was just lagging my laptop a little bit. Also, there's a little bit in-game lag from mech. And Lick, unfortunately, does leak quite a bit. He'll leak 7 creeps plus the Megaling and 3 auras. And the gas bomb that Lick was planning on setting at 19, he must now invest into his SS if he wants to survive this wave. Puts it all, or not all of it, but puts a lot of it into subcannons. We'll have to see if he can add any more, or if he needs to add any more. Targets Megaling, nice, it dies, and wow. Looks like he'll hold wave 18 no problem with the fully upgraded subcannons. Drunken Puking, calling up to 13 workers, second speed still. And with this, we'll have to see how he decides to spend his 378 minerals. Decides to go for the half-breed, which will help on wave 20, because it'll be a good tank once he upgrades it, plus he'll have the stun. And 1750 value, he's definitely playing a little bit conservative, doesn't want to die to any gas bombings from Licorice Coke. Even though we saw the upgrade of SS from Licorice Coke, you can never be too safe when you're this far ahead. Just doesn't want to lose anything silly. Licorice Coke, 12 workers, 180. Drunken Puking is okay, he got his 3rd speed, that's why. So Drunken Puking was working on his 3rd speed, and will now be ahead basically 100 gas per second. No, 100 gas per minute over Licorice Coke. Both bombing on wave 14, Drunken Puking going for the Brood Lord, High Templar, Licorice Coke going for the Mastlings, Leviathan Queen. Let's see if they can hold. Drunken Puking, he's relying on this Warden and the 2 Phantoms to hold the Lings. Licorice Coke, he's depending on whatever he can do in order to kill the boss. Licorice Coke holds quite easily. Drunken Puking will hold as well. So, let's look at their incomes. Drunken Puking is only marginally ahead in income. He's ahead marginally in army supply. The real difference is in his income, which is up by 1200. And he is droning up now even more so. He'll be at 18 drones by the end of this wave. Licorice Coke, however, has not got his 3rd speed, and he'll be at 16 plus 3rd speed by the end of this wave. So what this means is, since Licorice Coke has gotten his 3rd speed so late, he is going to have a lot of trouble bombing on wave 24 or 26. He'll most likely only be able to bomb one of those. He won't be able to bomb multiple times, and he knows that Drunken Puking is going to make a lot of workers in the meantime, so he's just going to invest into, looks like Earth Shock and Solid Plating. So he's just orbiting a little bit, anticipating that Drunken Puking is going to be the aggressor. He's saying, Drunken Puking, just bomb me, and I will try to defend. And if I can defend, I have a chance of bombing you on one wave before endgame. And if that doesn't work, I'm pretty screwed, basically. So Licorice Coke, putting more into his SS defense, going for BBG for the stun. He's, like I said before, going for that one wave and hoping to base trade, but since he has a better upgraded SS, he's banking on being able to hold that base trade better than Drunken Puking can. Drunken Puking Staying on 18 workers, he is actually behind Licorice Coke in terms of income now. However, he has been saving all of his gas in order to bomb Licorice Coke on wave 24, which he hopes ends it, while Licorice Coke has spent his gas into upping his SS in case he leaks 24, which is good since he knows he's behind. Drunk and Puking, he's in his mind, he thinks that Licorice Coke, he knows Licorice Coke only has one real chance to bomb him, and he's thinking that wave 24. However, unbeknownst to him, Licorice Coke is opting to orb, and he'll bomb him probably on wave 28 or 26. So, however, if Licorice Coke leaks a lot, he might have to invest even more into his SS, which he really does not want to do at this moment. He wants to stay at max on just subcannons and Earthshock. He doesn't want to invest any more than that. And he will bomb Drunken Puking with one Broodlord and a bunch of roaches and a queen. And Drunken Puking is expecting something a little bit more, going up to 3100 army value. And Licorice Coke says, F, man, I leaked a lot. And normally this would be GG, but he does have Earthshock, and as well as subcannons, so he may just hold. However, Drunken Puking can take this time in order to drone up. He'll go up to 25, he might even go for 240 speed. And as you can see now in the gas counts, he is far away and ahead of Licorice Coke, doubling his gas count at this moment. Licorice Coke definitely had to hold that wave a little bit better in order to get back to the game. He's going up to 22 workers, only a 2500 value. He can basically bank that Drunken Puking won't bomb him with 25 because it's a weaker gas bomb in general. He does have to worry about with 26 instead though. And let's look at the gas counts. What is Drunken Puking doing? He has also upgraded his subcannons as well as put some gas into Earthshock. I guess he wants to play it safe. That's all I can say at the moment. He just wants to play it safe. He doesn't want to lose this game at all. He's saying, okay, Licorice Coke, your SS is pretty beef. So I gotta make sure my SS is beef too in case of a base trade. I don't want to lose in a base trade when I'm this far ahead. And Drunken Puking just getting further and further ahead, upgrading his gas, just waiting to see if Licorice Coke bombs him on wave 26, which he is not. And neither player sees anything on wave 26, funnily enough. Licorice Coke is way ahead in the gas count, so he looks like he is going for the wave 28 gas bomb, like I stated before. And Drunken Puking is playing a little risky. He's gonna go for max eco, which I'm not so sure is the best idea at this moment. You have to be a little bit further ahead, in my opinion, in order to make this work off, because as you can see, Lick is going for a 20 gas bomb, and you need a significant amount of army value to hold that off. Maybe he's just thinking that his SS will be able to hold it, but it also cuts into your army value for 31, so you'll have less army value for a base trade. That's why you see players normally cut the worker value at some point. Maybe they'll cut it after second speed or something, but it looks like both players are just going for it. Max eco all the way. And Licorice Coke is just bombing him with multiple Colossi, High Templar, 2 Broods, a Goliath. Drunken Puking, however, is saving his gas for like 29 counter gas bomb, looks like. And at the moment, it looks like he's saying, okay, 4,250. That's how much I think we will be able to hold this gas bomb. Licorice Coke, however, is banking on the fact that Drunk isn't going to gas bomb him now. And we'll see how well Drunk holds this. If he holds this really nicely and doesn't have to up his SS anymore, he'll definitely probably swing for the win next wave. If not, then his gas bomb might not be that great. We'll have to see. And looks like his units get totally shredded, including his Theos. And he leaks 18. Oh, wow. So Drunk is going to spend a significant amount of his gas upping his SS. He leaked most of the creeps. 5 Colossi, which will rip through his SS along with 2 Broodlords. And Drunken Puking, he may have just gotten a little bit too greedy in this game. We'll see if he has enough gas to up his SS. Earthshock, that's a good start. But 1, 2, still got 4 and 4 Colossus left. Does he have enough? 1,400, 150, 120, 50. Oh, he barely holds it. Oh my god, so barely with 50 life on his SS. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Oh my god, how much did he even upgrade? All of our improved targeting, extreme healing, sub-cannons, as well as Earthshock. Wow. Just wow. Now look at Coca in the meantime. He's capped on gas. We'll have to see if he tries to kill Drunk on wave 30, which is unlikely, or if he's going to try to bomb him on some wave 31. Looking at his gas, looks like he's just orbing. Nope, he's going to try to kill Drunk on wave 30? No? Oh, okay, no. Oh, he's just getting up the gas cap. Okay, so Licorice is just eco-sending so that he can have a full gas bomb on whatever wave of 31 he decides to send. Drunken Puking, saving up as much gas as he can to bomb on wave 31. Looking at their army value, Licorice Coke is ahead. He's also up in econ, very, very nicely done. Econ, I mean income. And he sees, well, Drunk sees the eco sends from Lick. Lick sees nothing from Drunk. So Licorice Coke, nicely played. Flies way back quite nicely. That leak on 28 may have indeed sealed the deal for him, as he's now just 1 gas bomb away from killing Drunken Puking. However, Drunken Puking definitely still has a chance. They're both relatively even on army counts. It's all going to come down to the unit composition. Who has a better unit composition? Drunk is relying on the mass solo villains plus the dark mages for the debuffs, as well as the pyros. Licorice Coke, however, doesn't have a whole lot of anything. He's got Hades and Apparition, I guess. Basically this dragon aspect, and we'll have to see who bombs first. Looks like they're both going for wave 2. They both know that it's going to be over real soon. This is going to come down to a very tight trade. Who will die first? That is the question. We'll find out right now. Both sending similar sends, seeing a lot of ultras from Drunk. And let's see who will die first. Let's go to everyone cam. Everyone cam. Oh god, I can't see the unit counts. 15 to 13 from Drunk's point of view. 15 and Drunken Puking is eliminated. Licorice Coke just barely winning with the dragon aspect, 2 solo villains, some Hades. Licorice Coke pulling the wind out of his hat and just barely winning. Nicely played.